Jerryll Noorden joins me, and you could learn what his company is up to by going over to grumpyhair.com. That's grumpyhair.com. And you can imagine this is going to be around search engine optimization and building that online presence. Grumpyhair.com. I really appreciate your time, Jerryll. This is going to be a great conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to be here.
So we're going to just kind of jump right in. Search engine optimization is kind of a buzzword. And frankly, as a real estate investor and doing this for a while now, I'm getting hit up a lot from kids on Fiverr to everything else under the sun. Can you kind of explain a little bit what search engine optimization is and the importance of it when you have this online presence?
Yeah, so we as investors, what do we want? We want to find people and are willing to sell the house below market value, which is the definition of a motivated seller. When it comes to search engine optimization, it's pretty much how to rank your website number one on Google. What people don't understand is not just ranking your website number one on Google, but ranking your website number one on Google for the right people. People that are willing to sell their house below market value. And this is what nobody really gets. So what most people then do and manipulate Google into thinking they should rank number one. Well, instead, search engine optimization is all about showing Google that your website provides the most value to Google's traffic. And the main principle about entirely ranking on Google is simply this. Imagine if Google always gives you something random when you do a search on Google. Every time you do a search, completely random result. And on the other hand, imagine if you search on Yahoo, you get exactly what you're looking for. Which website do you think you will use, Google or Yahoo? And they say Yahoo, right? If they get what you want. So what happens if everybody goes to Yahoo and goes to Google? Google goes bankrupt. So you just have to see what Google and when I say Google, talk about all search engines. You start to realize what Google really is all about. Google is all about ranking the website number one that provides its users with the most value. So that is where you need to focus on when you don't be thinking about SEO. It's not about ranking. It's about ranking for the right people. So as long as you can do that, you will actually have people that are willing to sell their house below market value to specifically look for you, find you, and ask you to make them an offer. So the end result is instead of us changing leads, the lead literally changed us if you do it correct. And that is the whole premise of SEO.
Yeah, I really appreciate you bringing that up. And one of those things that, I happen to be reading a book right now, $100 million Leads. I don't know if you've read that one. And he talks about the riches and the niches, of course. We have this tendency of throwing a blanket into our market and hoping for the best when it
Yes.
comes to this type of thing. What you're suggesting is that we even have to niche down and become relevant and valuable in our markets for the terms and stuff we're searching for.
Yeah. And think about what you just said, okay? Blanket. So what does everybody do? They buy up foreclosure lists, absentee lists, probing lists, texting lists, right? That's what everybody does. And they think, okay, I have a set of list of leads. I'm going to blanket mail that audience and see what hits. You need to send between 3,000 and 5,000 mailers to the foreclosure list, absentee list, probing list, any list you can think of to get one deal. Think about it. Take 10 random people on your foreclosure list and ask them, do you want to sell your house or you want to keep your house? What do you think they would say? You want to keep my house. Ask 10 random people on your texting list. Ask them the same question. You want to sell your house or you want to keep your house? They're going to say, I want to keep my house. Ask 10 people on any list. Ask them, you want to sell your house or you want to keep your house? They will all say, I want to keep my house. So, in other words, people are specifically and explicitly targeting people that do not want to sell their house to try to make them sell their house. So that is all nice and thoughtful in theory, right? Let's look at data. You need to sell between 5,000 millions to get one contract signed. That is a success rate of 0.03%, which means your failure rate is 99.97%. What that means is 99.97% of the people that you are chasing are not interested in your message. Then everybody sends mailers out and they are not successful with the 99.9%. They are complaining to their favorite guru and they tell them it's not working. what do you think the favorite guru will tell you? If you're not successful doing mailers, you didn't do enough. Do more. So now, here you are in the front of the road. You go left, you chase foreclosures, FDOs, and probates. You go right, and you find people that are willing to suffer market value. Everybody takes hard left. And when they realize they make a mistake, turn left, what do the experts tell you to fix it? Hit the gas pedal. Go harder, go faster, do more. That is the whole premise of lead generation. The entire concept of getting a lead is all about targeting the right audience with the right message. So if you need to target 3,000 people with a message of, are you foreclosure to get a deal? Obviously, you're not targeting the right audience with the right message, right? So things need to change. And, and that is where SEO comes into play. The point here is you cannot target motivated sellers. Can't. Here as well.
No,
Yeah, so here's one. Everybody thinks that uh, uh, in a circumstance like foreclosure as the owner of probate implies motivation. Everybody thinks that. But that is wrong. Circumstance does not imply motivation. Motivation is an emotional response to a circumstance, not the circumstance itself. So now, check this out. Although the sensible solution to the circumstance of being in foreclosure is to sell your house, the emotional response, however, is trying to find ways to keep their house. So the emotional response and the circumstance, they do not fit the characteristic of a motivated seller of willingness to sell it off for market value. So the moment people understand that, only then can you start to even begin looking for leads. Locus of time, the cost time, 50-50. What are you doing when you send mailers out for foreclosures and all these blanket mail, mass mails, right? You have a 0103 versus 99.97. That is not luck. That is suicide. Luck is 50-50. You would have better luck randomly closing your eyes, go to downtown somewhere and pick random people and ask them to sell their house. You will have more luck getting a yes than actually targeting a list that is comprised specifically of people that do not want to sell their house. So the reason why we're so successful is because we understand that concept. But those that can listen to data, they are the ones extremely successful. And that's how it works.
I think this is really interesting in the fact that you brought up the foreclosure. We've had a notorious bad record, and I'm just going to be transparent here regarding dealing with people that are in pre-foreclosure. And we've even asked them, well, if we have put you in a position that you're actually leaving with something in your pocket, why wouldn't you take this? And they're typically agreeable, but we have yet to get one of these properties under contract. In fact, more times than not, these people that are in pending for foreclosure, they have lost the property over selling to us.
Yeah. And the reason why is because it's an emotional thing. It's not a logical thing. Motivation is an emotional response to a logical concept, right? Foreclosure is a logical concept. If you exhibit this and this and this characteristic, you are in foreclosure. It's a logical concept. But motivation is not a checklist to say, oh, tall grass, boarded up windows, mirrors on the floor, foreclosure. Therefore, there's a higher chance of being motivated. No, emotion cannot be predicted. Two people in the same situation will act completely different. So there is no metric where you can target foreclosure. It doesn't make sense. And the sooner people realize that, the sooner they can actually do something about getting actually success, getting deals. Because that's what it's all about, right? Any business can only operate if they find the right leads. And for our businesses, sadly, leads are very difficult because our leads are people that are willing to sell for pennies on the dollar. That's very difficult. So it is very important that you really, really understand the concepts before you dive in and become an investor and expect to get deals.
So, one of those things that I think is interesting, and I'm going to eventually bring up the elephant in the room, which is Carrot. We started a website here through Carrot, and frankly, one thing leads to another, and now everybody in my market is using the exact same thing. Let's say they've kind of followed the lead. now ours isn't performing nearly as well as when we started. Can you
Yeah,
talk a little bit about that and the amount of work that's actually needed on the investor side of things to make sure the site stays relevant?
yeah. So a lot of these website providers, they are, again, they are basing SEO and lead generation on the completely wrong concepts. Let me give you an example. The conversion. Now, a conversion happens when you successfully can convey to your traffic through your website who you are, what you are like, and what would we like to work with you, all of which to align with the perfect image idea of the ideal cash buyer to work with is. Let me give you an example. Don't you agree that when you do a Google search, you already know what you're looking for? So a motivated seller, they have in their mind already a set of ideal personality and character traits they're looking for in a cash buyer. Fair, honest, have a personality, good energy. And when they go to Google, they are actually skimming and skipping websites until they find one website that matches that person looking for. So only then will you get the conversion. But now, what is scattered and a lot of the other website providers, what are their basic SEO strategies? The moment you have a kind of website, the first thing you will see is, are you in foreclosure? Are you in job loss? Are you relocating? Those are basic template. So this is what I call topic-based conversions. Wrong. Doesn't work. While we at Grumpy Hair, we do the conversion psychology of motivated seller. That is our conversion principle. Now, let me tell you the difference. The topic-based conversion is when you pretty much repeat the pain points of the seller and expect the seller to choose you because you repeated that pain points. Oh, are you foreclosure? Are you jobless? Trust me. They know that it's foreclosure. You don't have to tell them that. Not because you repeat their problems will they automatically jump to you. But on the Grumpy Hair websites, the first thing you'll see when you land on it is a big picture of the person smiling with a very welcoming vibe and energy that instantly within the first 2 seconds of landing, they will know, oh, I'm going to be dealing with that person. So they'll instantly know who they're working with. Obviously, that is what they want. If the other providers, topic-based providers strategy worked, all you would have to do is say, hey, I buy houses, I help with a foreclosure, come with me. That would have worked, but obviously a direct marketing would have worked there. But it doesn't. Do you know how many times I do walkthroughs and I see stack of mailers on their counter and they pick me and I didn't send them a single mail? Just mentioning their problems or just mentioning you buy houses was enough. Their marketing would have worked. The ranking number one would have worked, but it doesn't. Not because you're number one doesn't mean you're going to get leads. Not at all. You still need to make sure that what you present yourself to be fits what a motivated seller is looking for. And once you can show to fit, you will get a lead. Everybody thinks that just adding a picture is enough. No. The difference between telling people that you are amazing versus making people feel like you're amazing are two completely different animals. Completely different. So while everybody is just telling them on the website with reviews and testimonials and all this stuff, you are pretty much telling them that you are credible. You're not making them feel like you are. The grumpy hair premise, that's why it outperforms Carrot by and all the others are made by landslide, because we need to focus on the conversion psychology of motivated sellers out of the box. So that's what we need to focus on. Okay. Whatever that you have, and otherwise, you can still salvage that. Just focus on the conversion psychology of motivated sellers. Don't focus on the pain points. I've developed the three pillars of a conversion: competence, personality, and credibility. You need to show all three before you can even to get a lead. Now, I'm not going to dive into the details because it's a whole book, but here is what I'm trying to tell you. A lot of people focus on credibility. They have no idea about personality strategies and you have no idea about competence strategies. But I wanted to just mention that focus on personality more than anything else. Here is why. People will work with people they like. If you are an amazing person to work with, people will try to find reasons and excuses to work with you, even if you're not an expert in the space. On the other hand, if you're a complete douchebag to work with, people will try to find reasons and excuses not to work with you, despite you being an expert in the space. Why am I telling you this? We get our deals accepted for way below market value because of our personality and character. So it's personality that makes people pick you, while it is credibility and competence that validate that they pick the right person. So that's, let's say, that is what you need to focus on, the person behind the website, not the website itself. Okay. So that is the biggest difference between Carrot and all the other platforms. And that is why I developed Grumpy Hack. We had to literally clean, I was on Carrot too, and we had to literally clean everything on Carrot, put in our own CSS coding to fix everything. And the funny thing is, when we did that, they stopped offering support to us. While we made our students rank higher, they thanked us by offering support from us. So that's why I said, you know what? We're going to create our own Grumpy Hair website. And out of the box, we put in all the fixes that what we implement on Carrot, all the box we put it in there, and people just switching over, see pretty much overnight results. It's incredible. So yeah, we're very happy, very proud of.
Yeah. So one of the things that we learned in any kind of sales training
Yeah.
is that that first connection is important and the personality counts. But
Yeah.
more times than not, especially early on in our investing, we would lose out just because they liked us doesn't mean it's going to close the deal. And what I think is important is what you pointed out. It's the credibility and confidence that actually in the end helps with that piece of it.
Yeah, it's credibility, personality, and competence. It's to show the competence. It's not just confidence, but competence is part of the competence equation. Yes.
Sure. So, one of those things that I would like to spend a little time with is regarding the amount of time that this type of activity will consume, because
Yes.
this isn't an easy thing. So, I just want to remind everybody again to head over to grumpyhair.com and learn a little bit more about this product and what we're talking about here. It's grumpyhair.com. That's going to be a clickable link in the show notes. If you found some value in what we're talking about so far, do us a quick favor, share this with one of your investor friends. And if you're watching us on YouTube, give us a quick like and subscribe. So, Gerald, can you talk briefly about what people should expect? Because real estate investing, when people get into this, I think we're sold a bill of goods that this is easy.
Yeah.
This isn't easy. And it requires a lot of activity in order to stay relevant. What kind of work is needed here?
Okay. So that's a bit of a lot of question. Let me answer it the best way I can. My website personally, I haven't even touched my website in over 4 years. But that is just because the way SEO works. Google is not going to rank a website number one just because it's updated twice a day. Google is going to rank the website number one because it gives Google's traffic the most value. It doesn't matter if all websites update most of the day, right? But then I already have accumulated a lot of Google trust and I'm already established and people already know me and like me and they click on the websites and they get leads. So that is why I don't do anything anymore. But if you're brand new and you don't have a reputation and Google doesn't know about you, you have to work cut out for you because you need to prove to Google that you are better than the other guy that's one, right? But here is the thing that people don't really understand. When you are just brand new and you have a brand new website, you do not have to be better than the number one ranking website, right? If you rank number 99 on Google, you just need to be better than the guy that ranks number 98 on Google. That is how you start progressing. And the more value you provide to your users, and it could be anything, it could be the content, it could be the website speed, anything that provides a good user experience on your website, you will start to outrank your competitors. Now, here's why it's quite easy if you do it right. What is 90% plus of your competitors doing? They're doing topic-based conversions. They talk about foreclosure and ask the owners. If you connect with your seller on a personal level, the website, you are providing far more value out of the box than most other websites. You can climb very quickly. And then once you hit page one, that's where things get dark. Because now the traffic actually is you. And that is where you get started getting leads. So now the more leads you get with leads, the more value you have offered, you will start to rank. So here is where a lot of the SEO experts go wrong. And when it thinks all about backlinking and title page and click rate and bounce and all these SEO experts, right? It's not. SEO is all about showing to Google that you offer more value. That's all it is. So how does Google know which website offers more value? That's the question. Backlink is, but it's a very, even Google will say focus on backlinks. But then again, Google's not going to give you that secret. So what we do is we don't focus on backlinks. We focus on conversions. Imagine you have two websites. One site is a really good website and the one crappy website. Which do you think is going to get more leads? The one that offers a lot of value or the crappy website? The valuable one, obviously. The website that gets the most leads was the one that offers the most value. So Google, when we reverse engineer the Google algorithm, what we came to find is the better the website converts traffic into leads, the more value to Google the website is providing. So you will rank one. So does it take time? Yes. If you're brand new, if you have no idea what a website, it takes time. But that is why what we have done out of the box with GrowPR, for example, we have all these metrics, these personality metrics included out of the box. So all you have to do is just swap the pictures. We have placed all the pictures of AI personalities everywhere on the website, and all you have to do is swap them and then make the content or your original content that provides your traffic to see who you really are inside. If you can do that, do not look at your rankings. Just focus on the website. And by the time you look up to see how your website is doing, you will be very high in the rankings. So that is the trick. Do not focus on the time it takes. Focus on how effectively you can portray, convey to your audience who you are and what kind of person you are, really. As long as you do that, it will be quite fast.
Let's say somebody does decide to take advantage what you're offering here, and you
Yeah.
said, don't be concerned about how long it takes to rank, but could you kind of give an idea of
Yes.
how long it would take to become
Yes.
relevant?
Yeah. So again, I will give you the previous results from our students. That can be good indication. But the fine print is it depends on your mark. It depends on how well you do the work, and depends on how the competition is doing their own SEO. But for our experience, we have one of our students, one of our record students actually. He got number one in 3 weeks. I think it took him 3 months to become a millionaire because he ranked number one. That's quite impressive. But the average is around between 1 month to 3 months where you start to see yourself climbing on the first page to the number one spot on Google. But then again, it depends on your market. Again, oddly enough, Miles, he did in California, which is a very competitive market. So
Right. No, I appreciate us that appreciate that it sounds like the more a lot of the traffic and the ranking that we had received was probably driven by the other marketing and that we were doing. Because, like, for example, we were sending out thousands of mailings a month, and more times than not, all of that was pointing back to the website to drive traffic there.
keep this in mind. Do you know how many calls and form fills we're getting? And when we go to the appointments and we ask them, how'd you find us? Do you know what a lot of people say? They will either say, hey, I received your mailer. We don't send any mails. So what most people sending mailers and calls and texts don't realize is more than half of your marketing goes to the guy that is number one in your market. You may not never know about it, but a lot of your mailers end up becoming leads to somebody else. So my advice to you, if you send mailers, make sure, absolutely sure, you put a picture of yourself on the mail. And if you want to know why and how we found you, check out their website. That way, even though they are going to do a research anyways, they at least find out who you are on your website. But it's double-edged sword, right? Because now you give them a way to get in touch with you. And more than 90% of the people are not really happy with you when you send mailers and calls and texts. So they can also yell at you. But at least you give them a way to really track you. Because our website is called We Buy Houses in Connecticut. It's one of our websites. And most people in the mainland will say we buy houses in city state, right? So they think we send the mailer and they will type in about something, or let's say a abandoned sign. What does abandoned sign usually say? We buy houses, right?
Hmm.
So they're going to do a search. People are not familiar with my housing. It's unheard of. My housing. Who does that? For the average person, it's unheard of. So they will do a search. And what does the science say? We buy houses. So they will do it. We buy houses search. And obviously we dominate Google. So they will find us. So people that put in abandoned signs, they get us their best leads because it's the best leads that do a search on Google. They're interested. So just be mindful of that when you do that. So when you send mailers, call to that, whatever you do, always have a website ready to send them to your website. Always.
Sure. What about that elderly population that actually just doesn't use Google? They're relying on the mail.
Okay. So you'll be surprised how many elderly do use Google. And there are always those that don't. And do you know how many calls we get from the sons and daughters of the elderly people that ask their sons and daughters for help selling their house? And we get them. So yes, SEO is not a magic pill. You don't get everybody. Absolutely. But I'm going to bet when you send mailers out, it's probably because it's 0.03% of people that are going to be interested in your offer. Only 0.03% of the 3,000 people that are also elderly are going to be interested. And then those have cell phones too. They have ways to go to Google. And only when they don't, the mail will be useful. That is a super tiny little fraction of what you're sending. So that's the portion we do not get. Yes, we understand SEO is not a magic though. But other than that, it's very. The only thing is, it takes time. SEO has its drawbacks. It takes time for that. But that's why you should be using strategies that offer both, right? So get the Canva website for sure. Then work on your SEO, and while you work on your SEO, to paid marketing. Paid marketing gives instant results, instant deals. And SEO is a long term. When SEO kicks in, you can stop the paid marketing, but you can make money immediately. That's what we recommend.
Well, just to remind everybody one more time, head over to grumpyhair.com and learn more about how Jerryl's team can help you with this. Again, it's grumpyhair.com. That's going to be a clickable link in the show notes. Before we jump into the rapid fire questions, Jerryll, is there a question or concept you wish we would have covered here so far?
Actually, I think you asked all the questions that we get asked all the time. So I think they're very relevant. Oh,
Well, I appreciate that. So, if you're ready, we'll jump into the rapid fire questions and close out this episode.
awesome.
Number one, what lie do real estate investors sometimes tell themselves?
It's all about the numbers. Said more. If something doesn't work, okay, I'm a former NASA robotics scientist. Okay. So numbers and data is all I do. When something doesn't work, believe me, as a scientist, you don't do more. It's not about consistency. Consistency only works if the strategy you're doing is correct. Then yes. But if you have a success rate of 0.03%, your strategy is not correct. So it's not about consistency. It's about adaptation. Adapt, learn, and tweak. It's a feedback loop. You have to output what's right in the input, and you tweak, and you keep on progressing, keep on tweaking. That's how it really works.
If you could go back in time and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Start now. Don't listen to anybody. Well, listen to people, but verify. But 100% start now. Every day you waste is a day you will not become successful. Just start now.
What book do you recommend?
Actually, I've been in the university for I don't know how many years, 17 years in university. I have read way too many books. I hate books. I write books now. I don't read any. I've heard though that Rich Dad Poor Dad's a good one, but I honestly I don't read books.
What single strategy, process, or tool have you implemented that has had the biggest time saving impact to you or your business?
Hiring a team, believe it or not. So it might not be a tool, but we reinvent the wheel all the time, and we do a piss poor job at it. So what you really should do is get a system in place that is proven to work. We had to build our own system because everything we do is so hacked behind the scenes. The thing that helped us most is hire a team and put them in the right place as quickly as possible. that gives you free time to actually grow your business instead of making your business survive.
Well, Gerald, this has been a fantastic conversation. I really appreciate your time. This was just really great. Again, it is grumpyhair.com. That's going to be clickable, but I hope you'll consider coming back again sometime. I would love to pick your brain regarding just starting a business like you have, building that team and the mindset associated with it.
You have my email address, and you my phone number. Anytime you have a slot, just let me know and I'll jump on.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Jack.